There comes a time in every cinematographer and photographer's life where you need to come to terms with a difficult truth. You can't always shoot at golden hour. Sometimes it's noon, the sun is directly over your head in a cloudless sky, and you need to get a shot off. What do? Well, first things first, put on an ND filter. ND filters are some of the most commonly used tools in a cinematographer's kit. ND stands for neutral density, and ND filters reduce or modify the light reaching a lens evenly across a select wavelength spectrum. Good ND filters don't change the color of an image. They just make it darker, like sunglasses for your lens. Their core purpose is to give cinematographers control over exposure that is independent of aperture, shutter speed, and ISO settings. Say, for example, that you are shooting in a bright environment and want to have a shallow depth of field. But if you open your aperture, your image gets overexposed. This is where an ND filter will come in, limiting the amount of light hitting your sensor so that you can shoot at your desired f or t-stop. Photographers will often use ND filters to shoot at slower shutter speeds, creating motion blur without overexposure. But how exactly do these filters work? There are two approaches to ND filtration: reflective and absorptive. Reflective ND filters have thin, metallic optical coatings that are applied to a glass substrate, and this coating reflects light back at a source. Absorptive ND filters use a glass substrate that absorbs a certain percentage of light. ND filters can vary in other ways as well. The type of ND filter you'll want to use depends on what you want to achieve and how much time you have to achieve it. The staple that many cinematographers use is the fixed ND filter, which has a set amount of light that it blocks. Fixed NDs typically are named based on the number of stops that will darken your image, and a cinematographer will typically have several different strengths on hand. Fixed ND filters can be screwed directly onto a lens, though this means they need to be exactly the right size for your lens. A good rule of thumb is to buy an ND filter that fits your largest lens, and then purchase relatively cheap step-up rings to adapt the filter to smaller lenses. NDs can also be square. These typically are placed in front of a lens using a matte box. Using a matte box also allows you to combine ND filters for even more light blockage. For real run and gun shoots, a variable ND filter can be a good option. These are NDs that can have their strength adjusted by rotating their polarizing elements. Finally, there is the graduated ND, also called a GND filter. These filters create a varying amount of darkening across a filter. They are most frequently used for landscape shots where the sky needs to be brought down while the ground is already well exposed. It's important to keep in mind that regardless of the type of ND you go with, you'll likely get what you pay for. Cheap ND filters can affect color or have poor glass quality that will compromise the fidelity of an image. If you're already using a high-quality lens, you'll probably want to go the extra mile and get a high-quality ND. Whether you're a wedding photographer or a celebrated cinematographer, you'll likely need to use an ND filter. We can't adjust the sun's brightness, but we can adapt to it. Ready to start shooting? Prep for your next project with Studio Binder's pre-production software. Until next time, good luck finding the right shades